Karl, Cubs are up 2-0, just so you know.
Well, tell me this, Adam. Why did the Cubs have bases loaded in the second inning, no outs, and they could only muster up 1 run? What's up with that?
They got 2 runs, brother.
In the same inning? I thought they got one.
Yeah,
in the
they
first
had Pete Crow Armstrong got a single, and then they walked Dansby Swanson walked in. They should have got more runs. Yes, they should have got more runs, but they then struck out and then doubled. I'm watching the game at the same time. I'm distracted here.
The Swanson
double
guy's
play,
good, isn't he?
Do you not watch the Cubs ever?
I don't watch baseball, man.
You're only watching because they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, literally just Cubs baseball or playoff baseball.
Respect. Tip of the cap to you, brother. Hey, join in. It's fun. When I go out to Chicago, I always schedule one of those first 4 weeks when I can see Cubs game and a Bears game at the same time. So that's what I did the last couple of years. I've done that. So I went to the Rams game last year in week 4 because then I could catch the last home series of the season. This last time I caught a game on Saturday and Sunday at Wrigley, and then I went to the Monday Night Football game against the against the Vikings. That was a major waste of my time.
Well, I don't know if it was a major waste, but I'm sure
I
it
had
was
a great
good
time.
Game. They just fizzled.
I got to wave the American flag. That was fun. I dropped my phone.
Talk to me about that. How did you get yourself on the field?
You know, that was Wally. I got to give props to Wally Fresh, who's a member of the channel. He has season tickets, and part of the season ticket perks, they can use so many points. And as a generous and amazing human being, he came up from Florida, so he wanted to use all his points in one go run. And so he offered my brother and I to be able to go and do that. And he and his daughter went down the field and got some behind the scenes acts. Like they got to do some really cool stuff and meet some cool people. But yeah, it was a good time. We had fun. Good job, Wally.
So like
Wally.
it's like
Praise
very
to you,
streamlined. They only allow you to walk to the flag, wave it, and then get out. Like no.
Yeah, it was.
All, right?
I mean, we missed some of the other stuff at the start of the game, but it was they got you down there under the tunnel. They gave you directions. They were very strict. And when we're done, you get right off the field. You don't interact with the players. You don't record while you're down there. And those who are on the channel,
you think they'd like line you up for some like high fives or something cool? But whatever. That is a really cool experience. I saw that short. I was like, what am I looking at? That was AI.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be doing that. My bad. No, I wasn't supposed to record anything. And then I was recording during the national anthem, and I dropped my phone, and I wouldn't have bent down and picked it up, except it landed right by this guy's foot, and I didn't want him to kick my phone, so I had to bend down and get it. And then the flyover happened. I was naughty. I was a bad boy. I'll be forgiven. Hey, Levante's a new member of the channel. Thanks, Levante. Thanks for joining in, buddy. I'm back, he says. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be more casual today. We got the Cubs game on. Cubs are up 2-0. Looks like we're in the 6th now from what I'm looking from a
Swanson guy
distance.
is good.
Glad you're joining in, watching some Bear stuff. Sam L., Ollie Gordon Fan Club checking in. Yeah, we need to trade away a couple first-rounders. Get Ollie Gordon on the team. That'd be wonderful. Karl, this is as good a time as any to do this. We're gonna jump right into Bear stuff because I don't know how long we're gonna make this thing last. Half hour. I don't know. We're just having fun today. Karl and I just wanted to get on. Those who don't know Karl's from the Thigh and Smile podcast. There might be some changes coming to the Thigh and Smile podcast. That's for Karl to announce or not. Karl's always been a good friend of mine. I like Karl. It's kind of a contrarian with me sometimes, but if you understand Karl's personality, it really actually digs into some good concepts and really picking your brain. So join in on the chat. You guys ask questions. You guys pick Karl's brain. I love it. I'm going to jump right into this. This is from preseason, and I know you're going to like this, Karl.
You've been a guy who bounces all the runs, always trying to hit it outside versus you being willing to run between the tackles and finish some of those shorter runs.
How do I look at it?
When you hear that, I mean, we've talked about this before, and so I kind of know what you think about it, but as you hear it going through the offseason, the Bears got to get a running back, the Bears got to do this because Drake can't do that. How do you deal with those types of things?
What can I do?
So I'm going to say right off the bat, Karl and I did not have a pre-session before this. I'm going to hit Karl with some surprise things. And also, Karl, I'm going to have some fun with PFF. I want you to ask anything. We're going to pull PFF up on the channel. We're 4 weeks in. You ask anything, we'll pull it up. But first, we're going to hit right off the bat the big thing. We've had some people injured. You know, Roshan Johnson, from what it sounds like, has been injured, but he's been back and he's been on special teams. They haven't played him at all. It's kind of frustrating. Got Austin Booker coming back, which is going to be huge, in my opinion. It's going to be huge. We've got TJ Edwards coming back. Yeah, all reports indicate these guys are coming back after. Karan Amagaji is the only one that's not eligible to come back. He can't come back till week 7. So
I specifically meant Austin Booker being huge, though, right? If we get
Oh,
the
yeah, we don't-
preseason Austin Booker to translate that level, that averaging essentially a sack a game to the regular season, that is absolutely huge. Bears need something
Yeah.
like that big time.
I'm trying to find. Why don't I have? Hold on one second. So here's what Karl's talking about. We'll get back to that clip, but here's preseason of all defensive ends. Here's Austin Booker. His pass rush win rate, 25.9. His pressure rate, 25.9. 5 sacks in the preseason. He was an absolute beast. 93.8 pass rush grade. His defensive grade overall was just as high. Obviously, it's preseason. It doesn't mean everything, but he was an absolute monster. He was a monster in the preseason. There's no other way to put that. So hopefully that translates, and hopefully we got. I know that's small, huh? I got to make that bigger. How can I zoom in? That's a little bit bigger. It's hard. It's just hard to see with all the information on PFF. They just have too much stuff there. But there's Austin Booker there. I'll try to highlight it.
Do you know off the top of your head, Adam, there was a pretty pronounced stat. I saw it on NFL Plus, and I'll try and find it. And I think it was even before the Raiders game that out of all qualifying running backs, call it 30 carries, DeAndre Swift was third worst in the entire NFL. And I forgot if it was some sort of weird EPA tangent or what it was. But all that to say, DeAndre Swift has been a major disappointment. I see what Squeegee's saying in the chat regarding, what good would a replacement at running back do when we still have the blocking issues and the penalties, which are huge. But I attribute that more to the quarterback learning the system. First couple weeks, definitely the cadence was something that I think everyone was getting got by. And the penalties, I think, against the Raiders, that cleaned up a little bit, right? So I think that a good running back would be diverse to those types of issues. Or at the very worst, it would be a big enough upgrade to make the defense that the Bears play respect the run. Because right now I feel like the Bears' opponents are not respecting their run game whatsoever, which unfortunately we both predicted, in my opinion.
This is the hard part because, like with anything, I'll go on Twitter, I'll give my opinion, and 5 other people will give a different opinion. I'll talk about, let's just say this last week, I'll talk about Ozzie Trapillo and Theo Benedict and Braxton Jones play and how they played. And there's multiple things. You can look at PFF. We've talked about this like extensively. PFF is in its little bubble, not complete and whole. You've got to take the tape, you've got to analyze it, and you've got to compare that to what the stats show to get a whole picture. Because not everything, I mean, I had someone on Twitter talking about, what's his name? Gray Zabel. Like, just you know how people bring up old things and say, hey, let's checking in on this. What do you think now? And they're touting up Gray Zabel like he's the greatest thing ever. I'm like, have you watched Gray Zabel play? 8 pressures against. He hasn't allowed a sack this year. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, yeah, he hasn't allowed a sack, but he's played subpar in every. And that's Seahawks. So I know that's not the Bears, but I'm just like you take things out of context, and you can take any stat to shift to be what you want it to be. All right.
I'm so proud of you for saying that, because not that this human being came up with this phrase, but they enlightened me with it via Bears Weekly podcast. Former defensive coordinator, defensive player for the Chicago Bears, Ron Rivera, he said that figures lie and liars figure. Love that.
Well, you got to have. This is what we've always said on here. You've got to have both to interact with each other. And so this last week, I didn't do it on a video for YouTube. So you guys probably, if you're not on Twitter and you don't follow me, you probably didn't see it. But I took some all 22 clips and I just shared some things. And we could probably do one on here. In fact, what better use of time do we have than this, right?
You can show this real quick if you want, Adam, before it gets too lost in translation.
This is 1 second while I'm looking for this.
NFL.com, NFL Pro. Relentless Mikey, how's it going, sir? I'll say hello to chat while you're digging through. I see True Pilgrim.
Awesome.
I see Anthony. I see CJG. Calvin C. Is RJ healthy yet? Talking about RJ Harvey? Guy who was drafted after Ozzie Trapillo.
All right, so I just pulled up a thing that I'll share here in a minute. But so to go to the point, like you can twist it how you want to. What you really have to do is you have to analyze everything together. And I upset some people by saying that both Theo Benedict and Ozzie Trapillo both played poorly in this first game. I'm like, well, I'm not crapping on the dudes. Like, they needed reps. This is good. And we'll get into that in the whole Braxton Jones thing where trying to focus on the running back first. We're going to go all over on this episode. I can already tell. But to get to the point of the PFF thing, like it's in a bubble. It's not complete. You got to take the tape and you got to put it all together. So what are you sharing here? Let's see.
The more I'm
Add to
looking at it, it's
stage.
kind of an embarrassing graphic, and I think this I've discovered that this metric is totally worthless and irrelevant. So whenever you throw it up on the screen, I will explain very quickly.
Big Bill's grade was actually phenomenal this last game. Just so you know, Andrew Billings has proven me wrong that he's valuable. It's not popping up here. Before presenting a screen, remove other media streams from the. I'm going to remove this one apparently. All right, here we go.
So
all right, what you got here?
See, right? So again, courtesy of NFL.com, we're sorting by running backs only. Rush expected points added. So rush EPA. Worst to first. Worst in the NFL is Bucky Irving. I think that guy's okay. On this list, again, going from worst to first. Not all the way first, but you got guys like McCaffrey, Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry are right above our iconic running back. I say that tongue-in-cheek, Mr. DeAndre Swift. He's got negative 10.5 rush expected points added out of qualifying running backs. So again, just another metric where you point to and say this guy's one of the worst in the NFL. But, like I just said, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, there's no debate about how good or bad those guys are. They're clearly top 5 backs, any way you slice it. So maybe this metric's crap.
And it's a small sample size. I know Saquon Barkley through 4 games is averaging like 3 yards a carry. I've been crapping on Ashton Genty, but then when you go against a team like the Bears. So here's the frustrating thing about the Bears. Like, everyone says, well, look at Ashton Genty and what he did. I'm not going to focus on Ashton Genty. Look at what the Raiders did. Through 3 weeks, they were terrible. They allowed so many pressures. They allowed so many sacks. They allowed so much garbage. They couldn't get the running game going. They faced the Bears, and they didn't allow a single sack, and they looked like an all-pro line because our defensive line is so terrible. Now, our secondary still did their job, picked him off 3 times, forced a fumble. That wasn't the secondary. That was the line there. But, it's all things being considered, any team can look phenomenal. So we're through 4 weeks. These are small sample sizes. I'm going to take that down for a minute. So, all right. DeAndre Swift. Yeah, I don't think the run game has been as bad as the pass. The pass pro's been fine too. Like we're the 10th best pass blocking team. Pass block efficiency, we're the 10th best in the league right now. So, but that can be taken in a bubble too, because I showed that the other day that we're still allowing a ton of pressures, but it's Caleb is the difference. And we can show that on here if you want to go to the PFF stats. That's one thing that can actually be shown. He brought down his pressures turned into sack almost in half. He's cut down his pressures turned into sack in half. He's seeing the pocket so much clearer. So Caleb is saving the offensive line on many regards. So if we want to go to this last game with Braxton and Ozzie and Theo, I think that's the biggest topic today. That along with running back. I think in the same game, Kyle Monangai showed that he deserves more reps. Like in the couple carries he only had 4 carries. He was breaking tackles like he did in college. He was getting the extra yards. He averaged 4.5 per carry, but his yards after contact were higher than any running back we've had this year. And there's other running backs out there we can trade for, we can sign, but we just drafted him and he just showed a little bit of potential there. So there needs to be some consideration there. What do you think?
Yeah, you really have to get your feet wet with Monangai before you make a determination if you want to trade for another running back, in my opinion. I think it would be very wise to start Kyle Monangai, but that doesn't mean that Kyle Monangai has to be the featured, weapon in your offense. He could get less touches, in my opinion, than DeAndre Swift while he still is quote-unquote the starter. I think that would be smart to play him on primarily first and second down, allow him to actually have your opposing defenses respect your run game so that they can't hone in on Caleb Williams and force Caleb Williams to bounce out of the pocket every single play and do silly things like, make a tackle change in the middle of a game, which, to be fair, was the correct choice, and we can get into that whenever. But all intents and purposes, yes, Kyle Monangai should be getting more touches, in my opinion, any way you slice it.
All right, let's hit the offensive line. This is interesting. Tom G, rank these Ryan Poles offensive line contracts worst to best. This one seems really, really obvious to me. Like, really obvious. You tell me your thoughts on this.
It's kind of in that order. I mean, Jonah Jackson so far is trending really bad, but it is what it is. Clearly, out of the four, Nate Davis is your worst, right?
It's
I
got to
think
be.
Drew Dahlman has been better than Jonah Jackson because while they're both very handsomely paid, you got Drew Dahlman for free outside of the money. Jonah Jackson, you actually
Agreed.
had to trade for. Cody Whitehair on his day literally was a Pro Bowler, whether that was deserved or not.
Jonah Jackson wasn't traded for. He was a
We
free agent as well.
we definitely traded for Jonah Jackson. Thought
Are you
we
sure?
did.
And this is
I
a
swear to
long
God.
offseason. We've had so much happen. No, we traded for Joe Tooney. Didn't we sign Jonah Jackson? Did we trade for Jonah Jackson? If so, I'm a little upset.
Yeah, we acquired him via trade in
A sixth?
March. Yeah, sending a sixth.
Is that
And
what
is
it
the
was?
sixth the end of the world? No,
No. All right.
but
Creighton saying that too. 6. Yep. Pick swap. That's what Sam L's saying. All right. So I didn't remember that right. All right. So Nate Davis is clearly worst. You just ranked him out. Jonah Jackson, Drew. Where did you place Cody Whitehair?
I mean, before I see more from Jonah Jackson and Drew Dahlman, I don't think it's unfair to say that Cody Whitehair is the best of the four out of contracts.
But Ryan Poles' contract, Ryan Poles didn't draft Cody Whitehair. I think if you take into consideration it's just the contract of re-signing Cody Whitehair, his re-signing here was pretty bad. But before Ryan Poles drafting him was phenomenal because he,
right.
his earlier
But-
career
but-
was great.
But here's the thing: before we really get going here in the early going of the first 4 games of the 2025 season, I've already heard people calling for Jonah Jackson to be benched, for Darnell Wright to be moved to right guard, and for Ozzie Trapillo to start at right tackle. So is that a player that is better than Cody Whitehair through 4 games? Probably not. I'm confident in saying that Jonah Jackson and Drew Dahlman will end up being better than Cody Whitehair. That's just the fact of the matter when you're talking about contracts that this general manager handed out, right? Very confident in that. But right now, Drew Dahlman has not lit the world on fire. I don't think it's unfair to put Cody Whitehair at 1.
Oh, for sure. I agree. I'd say Drew Dahlman's still at 1. But even when we signed Drew Dahlman, that was the whole thing I was saying before we even signed him. He's great in the run game, but he's just an average pass pro. But hopefully the combination of everyone together helps alleviate itself. But
And
Caleb is definitely taking a step forward. If I could emphasize anything about watching the All-22 the last couple of weeks, Caleb really has an understanding of the pocket. Like he really is doing things in year 2 that I didn't see. And I really like Justin Fields. Anybody on this channel knows that. I didn't see Justin doing it in year 3. And Caleb's starting to do it. Like he really sees the pocket. He sees the field really well. He's not seeing every read perfectly. He's still got some room to grow. And Ben Johnson's system is still new with him, but the way he understands, he's cut his pressures turned into sack in half. I'm
Here,
really impressed with Caleb right now.
As you should be. I will be very blunt with you, Adam. I know that the most important thing through your lens, and many Bears fans and many listening to us right now, the most important things are the wins. And the Bears did not have a lot of wins last year, so to be mad and skeptical of Caleb is fine. But coming out of college, what is Caleb Williams' superpower? Escaping the pocket, throwing the ball on the run. I saw that last year. He had,
Sure.
4 wins taken away from him by Matt Eberflus last year?
Yeah.
Now
more,
we've
but
got
yeah.
a better team, specifically a much more talented offensive line, an offensive line that's going to take time playing together to gel as a unit, because I think that cohesion is the most important thing when you talk about offensive line. So whether it's, and we could talk about this, Theo Benedict at left, Ozzie at right, Darnell at left, I don't necessarily care, but you got to figure it out, and you got to give these times ample time to gel together, because I think that's the most important thing. All that circles
Yes,
back
so-
to Caleb Williams is the master key, right? The skeleton key. He can unlock so much with his God-given talent. I'm very excited for Caleb Williams, and that probably will never change.
I love it. I love it. It's all I've said the whole time is I want to see that generational. I want to see it come out. I want to see them stack wins because especially as Bears fans, where we thought we had it with Mitch, we really did after that first season, and then you see these flashes with Justin, and you really think that it's and then in between, we got a whole history we can go through, quarterback upon quarterback.
And
We
I
picked
hate
this
to interject
generational
on you
quarterback.
on this one more time, and you just said it. I don't think it's fair to say that Caleb Williams was a generational quarterback in the same sense that Andrew Luck was, right? I heard
Well,
this
that's what
first
that
from
was the
Aldo.
comps that were like it or not. That's the
Hold
comps
on.
that were out there. People were saying it like they were.
Well, when you're talking about evil Disney and their sock puppet ESPN, yes, you did hear it. But the fact of the matter here is that, and I heard this first from Aldo Gandia of the Barroom Network, Caleb Williams was a generational talent. He was not a generational quarterback in the sense that, like Andrew Luck, you saw it with the Colts, right? Colts, without Peyton Manning because of that neck injury, you went from a playoff team to only getting, I think it was one win. I think they literally went 1-15. Whether there was some tank involved in that, I simply can't remember at this point. I was a little bit too far away.
Absolutely, there was.
He comes in, and I think as a rookie, he took him to the playoffs. That's a generational quarterback. Caleb Williams was not a generational quarterback.
Well, that's a whole different situation, though. Well, that's a whole different situation because the Colts had a playoff team and they tanked on purpose to get the quarterback. So they were, of course, we're going to go to the playoffs year one.
Without an ample quarterback, they couldn't go to the playoffs. And then what you saw was Andrew Luck take them to the playoffs, and as they continued to go on, his offensive line, terrible. I think they went to the playoffs primarily the majority of the times that he was their quarterback.
I can see your angle there, but Caleb has the same dynamic, like throwing ability and a generational quarterback should absolutely be listed there. It's more of a talent. He's got to be developed. I get that. But it's a whole different situation.
To the national championship and win it like a Joe Burrow. This was a guy who was just very talented and needed a really elite coach, I think, to take that out of him and take him to the level that his talent matches. And that's what hopefully.
It's not that the Colts weren't elitely coached either, though. Like the Colts had a good coach. They had a playoff team, and they tanked on purpose.
You're proving my point. They did not have elite coaching, and their quarterback, who was a generational quarterback, was able to take.
No, I'm saying they did have a good coach. We're going to disagree on
Let's
this.
Let's digress on that.
That's not the whole point of what we're getting to. We agree that Caleb is showing things in year 2 that we need to see to feel excited, and now we need to stack them. We need to keep stacking them. That's what needs to happen as Bears fans, because at any point, we worry that things are going to go downhill. I don't think that's going to happen with it. I think Caleb's fine. I think he just needs to keep stacking it and building confidence, and he'll be fine. Let's get into...
Can we say one thing about the running back, specifically that comment at 6'10" from Sam L. before we move on to the offensive line? There's a certain
come on.
There's a certain running back whose last name is Love that honestly I do not love anymore. And I did. I thought that Jeremiah Love is a guy that the Bears, if they end up in that teen spot, absolutely get your final piece of your offense in the first round next year, right? But man, Jeremiah Love's backup, he was the feature back in a game like 2 weeks ago for Notre Dame, 3 weeks ago at this point, and he looked better than Jeremiah Love.
Did you see
for
what?
My untrained eye, Jeremiah Love looks like another version of Swift. But
did you see what the running back from Boise State did last week?
I think that you are the one who showed me the stat line that was very Ashton Genty-like.
It was like, I don't know, 300 total yards, 5 total touchdowns. Are we talking about? Are these quarterbacks truly dynamic? Or are they systems? I think Jeremiah Love is special. I watch him do Saquon Barkley stuff. I'm not even going to get into pre-draft stuff, but there's going to be some running backs that will be fine to help us out next year. I don't think we have to take one first round. I think Ashton Genty proves that you don't have to take a running back first round. I think you look at some of the other running back. Look at Bucky Irvin in 2 years or last year, 2 years ago, whenever it was, and look at what Bucky Irvin does in the 4th round. We've had success in the 4th round with the Bears before.
Pop quiz, Adam. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a top X offensive line. Survey says.
You're going to make me look back. I'd
say top 10 offensive line. They're very talented, so Bucky Irving doing good is no surprise.
We have a top 10 offensive line.
Top 5 quarterback, but
technically we have a top 10 offensive line. Our offensive line is ranked 10th right now
on paper.
Okay, well, you're giving that argument for the Buccaneers. So if we're ranked 10th,
they have
the
Buccaneers have a top 10 offensive line in practice, not on paper. Because I've seen it.
Shouldn't DeAndre Swift be a top 10 running back with our offensive line being so elite now?
I think that if DeAndre Swift is put on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's in that relegated Rachaad White role of just being a guy who's my favorite term, growing into my favorite term. He is a jag, just another guy.
Just another guy. Okay, so let's get to the hot topic here because we're already 25 minutes. This thing flies when we talk, Karl. Everyone in the chat, thanks for being here. Karl, thanks for being here. This is more casual, but we're gonna. I don't have it all recorded. This was just me on on Twitter, like sharing some things. This is the first drive of the second half when things changed. We shifted Braxton Jones out, and I'm just gonna course correct the main narrative here. Benched. Have you heard anybody in the Bears say the word benched for Braxton Jones?
Well, if Braxton
He is
Jones
now.
was not able to continue because of injury, you'd think that he would be practicing with the ones, which, according to Brad Biggs, to my understanding, he is no longer doing that.
He's not. Theo is now with the ones. That's what's out there, and I would assume I posted out there. My assumption. I didn't hear the injury. Did you hear an injury? There was no injury.
I was going to say I want to take you into the spin zone. Why would you say that your starting left tackle, aka your best trade piece, has been benched? Why would you say that?
Well, I've never heard the term benched from the Bears.
They're baiting that situation as best as they can, man.
Well, they made it sound like it was predetermined that because Ozzie was doing well at right tackle, they wanted to get him some reps. That's what they said after the game. They didn't say Braxton was benched. They said they wanted to get him reps. So I try to take the tea leaves, take some of the emotion out of it, and let's stay firm to what's true here. They wanted to get him reps. Why would they want to do that? We knew on this channel, on Bears fan base, if they sit and really think about it, Braxton Jones is not signing back here again next year. We don't have the salary cap to do that. We've drafted Karan Amagaji. We've developed Theo Benedict. We drafted Ozzie Trapillo. We were not re-signing Braxton Jones from the beginning of this year. It was never happening, period. We were never going to re-sign Braxton Jones. So if that's the case, you've got these three young guys. You've got to develop them. You're going to get them some reps. Okay, that's what we know. We don't know Braxton was benched. Now we know Braxton's not going to start. You want to talk rabbit hole? I'm not going down rabbit hole. I'm just saying if this is the path you're taking, you're not going to play Braxton Jones if you're going to try to trade him. So now you're going to get the young guys reps, correct. And you're going to rest Braxton so he does not get re-injured. So you have trade value in him. There's a lot of value in left tackles.
Now, not much of what you said is not correct. But Theo Benedict against the Lions, I don't even know what team we played in the third game.
Hold on, I got to hit this real quick. Ben was hoping, I don't think they cared how well he played because teams are going to look at how well Braxton Jones played last year. 14th best left tackle, just slightly above average, not elite, not Pro Bowl. You're not going to get a first or second rounder out of him. They look at how he played last year. I think what they wanted to show by playing him is that he's healthy and that you want to trade for him because he's healthy. Teams will still give proper trade value for someone if he's healthy and has a history of playing well. No, we're not going to get a first, second, or third rounder for Braxton.
You had to prove to the NFL that he was healed from that ankle injury because one of the big comps I've heard with this situation is, I think the name is Ronnie Stanley, left tackle of the Ravens. Braxton was never in that elite category, in my opinion, but it's just the fact of the matter of a starting left tackle coming off a similar injury. Again, Theo Benedict has had several reps, call it all 3 games before he started, where he was the 6th offensive lineman. He got 10 snaps per game as the 6th offensive lineman. So that was probably what they wanted to do for Ozzie Trapillo. But
some of those were brought in at the
left tackle against the Raiders was not good enough.
Right, but he was brought in at tight end position to help with some chip blocking and some other blocking opportunities. But I agree with you.
Right, but you give him 10 snaps in one game, and that was before Loveland got hurt. They were working towards this, Adam.
Right,
they were probably working towards Theo becoming the left tackle, regardless of anything.
Correct.
But
I agree with you 100%.
To do it in the middle of a game, I don't know, man. It feels weird.
I think it happened at
halftime. Ozzie
halftime.
Trapillo was a healthy scratch. That's something.
Well, I think it was done at halftime on purpose because they planned on getting those reps in. You can go into halftime. You can prepare for it. Well, if you do it at halftime, then you can talk to the guys at halftime and you can say, "Hey, look, this is what's happening. We have the adjustment to make." It's not like, "Hey, let's hurry and just adjust this in the middle of the third quarter, in the middle of a drive." It's a little different to do that at halftime than do it in the middle of a drive. So it's predetermined.
But
here we go in.
This was not, in my opinion, it was not predetermined before they got off the bus, right? I think
they
saw how it was unfolding. They saw Max Crosby have arguably the best first half of a defensive end, definitely in the 2025 season. I mean, that guy was swatting everything. Did he get the interception in the first half? Like, it was really like statement.
This is where I talk about the tape, though. This is where you got to look at the tape and not just look at PFF, because those were not the offensive line's fault with Max Crosby. This was elite linebacker style play where you can't keep engaging him down the field. He backs off the players. Some people on Twitter are like, well, they need to stay engaged with him. No, you can't stay engaged and go down the field. He's literally backing off, reading Caleb's eyes, putting his hand up and swatting it down because he's a freaking Goliath of a long, lengthy like freak. He's Austin Booker, but with the same length, I mean, but he's actually he's proven himself in that he's a freaking monster. Like, you go watch every rep from Max Crosby and he's just absolutely insane. Like, he's crazy insane. So that wasn't the Lions' fault. There was a couple reps that were the Lions' fault. The Lions' fault with Max Crosby. Max Crosby did things that it's just unhuman. So it wasn't always the guy's fault. But Theo comes in at right tackle to start the game, who moves over to left tackle, and Ozzie comes in. Give me your analysis of these two guys when they're playing on the field.
I don't know if I want that to be the starting situation moving forward, but just in a nutshell, I think it was a clear-cut upgrade. I do think that in a vacuum right now, Theo is better than Braxton. And I don't know what it is about Theo, but he continues to prove himself time and time again. And I think just that move alone was an improvement. But ironically enough, from someone who has been quoted on Twitter on saying that not the player, but the experiment, okay? The selection of Ozzie Trapillo at 56 and giving him the first team reps at left tackle up until training camp week 2 against the Bills, where he suddenly vanished, I called that a failure of an experiment. Not of the player, but the experiment. And all the kid did after 2-3 weeks of being a healthy scratch, came in and did a valiant job. Was he ISO one-on-one with Max Crosby every single play? Hell no. He was getting double tip, triple team, but he did his job. And that's all you could ask for.
There's a hateful narrative towards Braxton Jones now that he's benched and he's probably going to be off the team, and people do that. I'm gonna give something that is not following the trend of, like you said, evil ESPN or ABC or the guys that are your analysts. Right now, Braxton Jones is the best left tackle on this team. Period. You don't have to agree with me. Theo Benedict has shown enough, and his improvement in progression and how he's developed, that he will be the best left tackle on this team very, very shortly. Very shortly. Ozzie Trapillo, when he came in, showed so much rookie, bad footwork, clunkiness. I'm not excited about him yet, but I like him getting reps while Darnell's out to try to get him that experience, because that was valuable. For example, I don't have my pointer because this is, how do we do this? Okay, so here's every drive of the first. There's no rhyme or reason for this, other than I was just recording the first drive when these two guys came in. Then I was going to try to break it down for film, for a video, and it's just too much work with everything I got going on. So this is every play on the first drive, which, as you know, we just intercepted the ball, ends up being a touchdown on this drive. It ends up being a very good drive. Okay, so you got 79, which is Theo Benedict on the left side, Joe Tooney right next to him, Drew Dahlman, you got Jonah Jackson, then you've got Ozzie Trapillo on the right side, and then you've got two tight ends out there
on Ozzie Trapillo's side. Yeah,
right. You got Cole Kmet and Durham Smythe right there on the right side. Okay, so I'm not even prepared to have a pointer or anything. We're just going to play some of this. Boom. All right, so you can see on the left, Theo's actually taking his one-on-one. That's not Max Crosby, but then you got two tight ends on the right helping out, and you're making it easy. Okay, so this is these guys' first reps. You're trying to make it super easy by having both tight ends out there to help on the outside. Theo's actually doing a good job on his guy. There's the handoff. Oh, this is the fake flea flicker.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the fake flea flicker.
So those who didn't see this, Swift.
When you watch the sideline view of this play, man, those linebackers really bite on this in the reverse.
Yeah,
they go so far back. It's awesome.
So all I've got is the end zone angle of this, but this is fun. So there's the flea flicker. These guys, nobody can tell that DeAndre has the ball. I don't have the pointer. I can't do a pointer on StreamYard, so I apologize. But right here, you can see DeAndre.
You should point to the Cubs game
by the hash. Who just hit the home run? I can see him circling.
Bush Light. You like Bush Light, buddy?
Michael Bush. Beautiful. Cubs are up 3-0. Boom. Okay. So there's DeAndre Swift. Probably could have cut inside there bigger lane. Instead, he went right into the defender. It's a wash at that point. I think either one of them
All
would've
for
been a
naught
tackle
because
down.
there's a holding on this play, right? I forgot who it was.
No,
on.
it's a face mask right there. You see DeAndre Swift's hand. He's grabbing the
pinky,
defender's
that's what it
face
was.
mask. He negates his own play, so he gets called for the face mask right there. So that's the first play of the drive. All right, second play, you can see Mad Max over there on the right lining up, trying to give
Still got tight end help in theory.
Ozzy some hell. You got two on the left. One's probably going to drop into coverage. I don't remember this play right off the bat. Yep, one drops over. So far, both their footwork looks good. Drew Dahlman looks rough in this game. I can already see by his weird twisted inside knees. I played some offensive line. I played defensive line primarily, but anyway, so all right, there's offensive help, gets by Cole Kmet. Now he's on to there's plenty of time. Right in the middle. Didn't catch the ball. Good job, Cole Kmet. So I heard Cole Kmet maybe took a concussion. He took a hard hit, and that's why he only caught 3 out of his 10 passes. I don't know. Either way, it was one of Cole Kmet's worst games.
He had false starts. I'll be honest with you. You saying that is the very first time that I even heard or thought of him having a concussion. But if he's having false starts as a veteran, that's the last player I'd expect to have the false starts. Maybe he was concussed.
2 false starts and a drop, and he doesn't ever drop things, but I did point out before the grades came out on my initial video, I said, yeah, he had one of his, but he had one of the best blocking grades. Like, he helped these young guys out so freaking much, and you can see it on the tape. Like, he helped a ton in the blocking game. So Cole Kmet, I give props to. I think he still played fine, but he's got to clean up whatever was happening. But okay, so here's the third play.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just detest that comment from True Pilgrim 144, buddy. I mean, say what you want. He's a pro's pro. You got to stop with that BS. Sorry.
I deleted it. I detest that. Hey, you changed your logo. Like I said, changes might be coming for Thigh and Spike. Okay,
well,
so
it's technically from a different account, so it is what it is.
Okay. All right, so you got good footwork on the left. If you guys know much about, like, Theo on the left there, his footwork is good with a pass rusher coming at him, not from an initial contact. You're talking he's getting a running start on him. He's got a wide base. It looks good. I can't say that Ozzy looks bad on this one either, but I'm going to tell you the whole game, Ozzy got penciled up. That's what I call it, where he got tall. And especially for a 6'8" guy, you got to have a wide base. You look at Joe Tooney right next. You see between Drew Dahlman and between Theo Benedict, you see Joe Tooney there, 62. That's a wide base. And that's like, this is a Hall of Famer, like showing these guys what to do. Like, he looks really good this entire game. Anyway, so there he's getting on him. They're containing this one well. Looks really good. Oh, they came in between. That's plenty of time. And he got the pass off. Looks good to DJ. I don't know if you saw, but DJ Moore has some of the best separation rates this year so far. Like, he's separating, like, extremely well.
I was going to say, I would love to see a lot more of those routes from DJ Moore. You know, the deep ins, the digs, whatever you want to call it. Get our value out of that before we trade him to Buffalo. Anyway.
We're not trading him. What's interesting is when you watch it, if you watch the all 22 over and over again, DJ Moore is open a lot. Caleb just has a connection with Rome that's helping Rome adjust. Once Caleb gets really comfortable, he'll start hitting DJ Moore more. DJ Moore is open a ton. Like, DJ Moore is looking like DJ Moore of 1,300 yards a season. DJ Moore, he's going to be just fine. It's just a matter of Caleb catching up. I think Caleb's getting there really good. All right, play number 4. Same thing. Cole Kmet's going to shift over. There's no great analysis on this, guys. We're just watching what I had recorded, and we're just going to talk about these two young guys. That's all. All right, so you got Max on the right here. He's going to come. Oh, that's ugly for Cole Kmet. He's going to get swim moved on.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's going to get swim.
You're getting. Yep. Come on, it's Max Crosby.
I know, and I'm not, and he's the extra help there. So you see Max Crosby swim move, gets right by him.
You do the same thing to Mercedes Lewis there, man.
Agreed. But look at, this is what I don't like about Ozzy so far. Ozzy's trying so hard to help with someone that's already double teamed that he didn't keep his stance. He didn't keep his wide base. Now, I'm being overly critical. I get it, but I understand how to watch the offensive line. He's out of position. And then you see that little glance to the left. So this is just a rookie thing. So he's trying to look to the left still and worry about this double team still happening that he looks, and he gets way out of position with Max Crosby. The throw's already coming out. It's fine. Not the end of the world, but he can't do that. He can't pencil up. It's just one play. Just one play. It's fine. Gets the ball off, catches it. Hey, good job, Rome. Boom. Next play, you've got extra tight end help here on the left. You got two of them. You got Cole Kmet and Durham Smythe again.
I don't see
Look
Crosby.
see,
on the, he's hiding. That is Crosby in front of 75, right? I clearly see Jamal Adams.
But I'm going to record this. I'm just going to fall back just a second. This is one thing out of a rookie. This is so tic-tacky, guys. Don't hate me for this. This is so nitpicky. You got Ozzie in on his first game. He's tired. Watch this right. Watch on 75 on the far right. Watch his heavy breathing. See that? All I'm mentioning that for is because look how high he's 6'8". He's way too high in his stance right now. He's already way too high. These are rookie things. All right. Hate Adam all you want. I'm just mentioning the things I see on the L22. It's critical. He's a rookie. He'll get into condition. He'll learn it's good for him to get the reps. That's all I'm going to say on this whole thing.
Wouldn't it have been nice for him to get 3 games of reps at left tackle? Anyway.
Hush, hush, hush. Okay, so there's a swim move on Jonah Jackson right there, right off the bat. I don't have the pointer. I can't do this. But Drew Dahlman's already getting eaten up by the nose tackle, which is sucky. They were coming with a ton of pressure. You got 5 guys here, and then you got an outside guy that's going to try to get in on Ozzie on this one. He does get by Ozzie, but there's the handoff. Goes up. All for naught because we ran it. Good play call there. They saw the pressure coming. Good job. Same thing here. Look at how high Ozzie is in his stance. That's not okay. Like he can't be doing that. But this is critical stuff. All I'm saying, it will get better. The point is, it was good for these guys to get reps, but they were not, these guys were amazing. Like the people on Twitter are like, it was so amazing to have both of our young guys. They were so incredible. They weren't incredible. They were below average. It was against the Raiders. It's fine. We're good. We got through. I'm glad they got the reps. All right. Caleb's pointing something out there. Raise the roof, apparently. Oh, there's a false start. Saw that. So there's Theo getting his false start. That's a rookie thing. I don't know if you guys caught that. We'll go right back to it. So Theo's high in his stance on this one too. Well, that was the play before. No, it's not. I didn't bring it back far enough. My bad. All right, let's come back far enough. There's the false start. Adam's not good at running the tape, apparently. There's the false start if you didn't see that. All right, it's over with. We're done. Move on to the next one. All right, just one tight end set here. Okay, in the chat, guys, tell me if you like this stuff with the All-20. We can do this more often if you want. It's not the point of what I want to do with this channel. I like to do more of the stat stuff and then just tell you what I see on tape. But if you guys like this All-22 stuff, we can do this more often. It's just not my bread and butter type of thing. And I didn't play in the league. I played football, but I haven't played. Obviously, I wasn't an NFL player. But anyways, Theo's holding up pretty well on this one. I like that. Drew Dahlman got eaten up. You can see right there in the middle. Drew Dahlman's his lunch was eaten, but that was bad by Ozzie there on the right.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to watch Ozzie on every single play. I'll be very genuine with you. It seems like he's really dug into helping his left guard first and foremost.
He's not keeping his positioning and he's not keeping his stance. And it's a rookie thing. He's not aware enough, and so he's got to keep himself in position and be ready with his base to be able to take someone on. And this is kind of the same thing with penciling up. When your feet are out of position, you're going to be high, and people are going to be able to get under you or get around you because the footwork right there was just ugly. Like he overcompensated twice. See how he has to come back? So that's ugly. But it's fine. Like it's a rookie thing, and he'll learn from this. Like this is a great time to do it too, right before the bye. Now they can take this tape from the half of the week they have. But look at Theo on the left. I really like that from Theo. He's got his guy really contained. That's a really solid base. He's right into the guy. He's in really good position. So Theo killed it. Drew Dahlman's eating up like crazy right there. But anyway, so Caleb, this is what I'm talking about between last year and this year. Caleb's pressures turned into sack were almost half self-inflicted by Caleb. And now he's helping guys out. Like Ozzie on that one, Drew Dahlman on that one, they were eaten up. They were toast. Like that should have been a sack. And Caleb, understanding his pocket, was able to escape that. I mean, barely, but he did. And that's what he's good at. Just like you said, at USC, that's what he was good at. Escaping the pocket and throwing on the run right there, escaping it, helping his lineman out. escaped it, didn't take the pressure. He's one of the best. He's like, I think, I don't know who I have all these stats in my head, but they change every week. I think he's 7th or 8th in pressures turned to sack this year. Only 14%, which is extreme. That's low. That's really good. Like he's killing it so far. He just throws this one away. Max Crosby will throw a fit and say he stepped out of bounds, but he didn't. All right, how are we looking on this one? There's a lot of help on this one. You can see even DeAndre Swift is coming over to help Theo on this one. A little too much on the right there. These guys are getting eaten up on the right. But as long as you give him 4 seconds, 3 seconds, you're fine. See, his footwork, Ozzy on the right there, it's just out of position. He's bending over at the waist. You can't bend over at the waist like that. You got to stay. See right here? He's going to lunge forward at him because I'm out of position with my feet. See how his feet are penciled up? So I'm not, again, I'm not crapping.
Is that Max Crosby?
I don't know who that is. Let's rewind it and see if we can see a number.
Yeah,
it's Max Crosby. It still, you've got to, it's a good, and again, to your point, this is a great way to get reps against one of the best, if not the best. Caleb called him the best. So great way to get reps, but still, when your feet are out of position like that, you don't have your base in front of you, you're too far to you're helping Jonah Jackson out too much because you see that guy from the back coming, probably your nickel there, I would guess. Your nickel is blitzing in here, number 33 or whatever number that is. I honestly don't know who it is, but it looks like it's coming from the nickel spot.
Hold on, again, as someone who is not a former football player, the design of this blitz is awesome. They got a stunt. They got a stunt to come onto the left side of Jonah Jackson, and then they're sending Jamal Adams on the right side of Jonah Jackson. That is fucking gnarly, man. Things, huh? That is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to watch some of these things. What did DJ Moore get quoted saying last year when he was hot mic? I love football. I love football. Yeah, so you got.
I saw a play like the Lions. The Lions did the same thing where they showed a pressure to Caleb's left side, and they ended up bringing 2 guys from the right side. So just saying that out loud, I think NFL defenses are identifying Jonah Jackson as your weak link on this offensive line, which is really sad.
Drew Dahlman too. I think they picked apart Drew Dahlman this last game, and they showed that he needs some help in pass pro.
Yeah, I guess you just choose to send it through the center or not, right? But what are you going to do? You're probably not going to choose to try and beat the left guard 24/7. Left guard's good.
But I'm actually going to say on this one, with the leverage they were getting on Theo on the left, or Cole Kmet on the left, and the way Theo had his base, Theo's looking really good better than when I watched this the first time around, dude. That Theo on the left is looking solid.
Well, I'm glad that you're using your football brain to come to the conclusion that my non-football brain decided it wanted to come to. Because again, in a vacuum, I just said it 15 minutes ago. I like Theo Benedict more than Braxton Jones, period. Is that fair to Braxton coming off the injury? It probably is not fair. Theo Benedict's coming off an injury, and I simply can't remember what that injury for Theo Benedict was. That cat needs to play, and he needs to prove if the Bears are going to spend their top 10 in the teens pick on a left tackle or not, because that's where this is trending towards.
I think it's trending towards us having a player that's developing really well. So like I said, I think today Braxton's probably the best one because of his experience, but you watch this tape and you watch how Theo's done. I think all signs are pointing to him becoming the left tackle starter for the Bears long term.
Yeah, say
I really think
long term in 2025. Say this, okay? Braxton Jones had his 3.5 games next to Joe Thuney. I want to see 3.5 games, so 3 more games at this point from Theo Benedict next to Joe Thuney. What is he going to be able to pick up?
I think you're 100%. I think the Bears are planning on doing that too. They don't want to play Braxton either in fear of having him injured in his trade value. I think they plan on trading him. That's going to happen. Like, you're not going to trade Theo Benedict.
Now
You've got a young player with multiple years left on his contract.
Someone said this earlier as well, okay, and I hate to cut you off. Someone in the chat had said, even if we trade Braxton Jones for a 5th-round pick, let me tell you, if someone offers you a 5th-round pick for Braxton Jones right now, you say
you're getting a 5th.
Do you want me to get the plane ride? Do you want me to cover the tickets? Like, you make that trade every single day of the week, twice on Sunday.
I'm going to say
you might only be able to get a 6th or a 7th.
No, before it happens, I'm going to predict it right here. This is what's going to happen with Braxton Jones. You're going to get a 5th, potentially, if somebody wants him hard enough, with a conditional to a 4th if they re-sign him to another contract. So if that team trades for him,
there's simply no chance of that when Cam Robinson was traded from the Jaguars to the Vikings.
Okay, but you can't.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just there's no chance.
Go back and watch your show.
There was another comment in here.
Left
and I
tackle's
wish
a
I could
value
star the
premium spot. He
comments.
was an above average left tackle last year. I'm going to predict it now. He's going to get a fifth for
The
us. That's what we're
Vikings
going
were
to get
bent
for him.
over the barn door. The Vikings were a clear and obvious playoff team when Christian Darrisaw had the season-ending injury. The Jaguars should have had them by the thing that sways between their leg, depending on how far that goes down when it swings right. You only got a sixth, I think, and then a pick swap after. And Cam
who'd they
Robinson's
get?
like the same level.
And how old is Cam Robinson?
I couldn't tell you, but again, player coming off an injury, a guy who you're going to have to pay if he really pans out, $25 million a year. I don't know, man.
Didn't.
It's probably trending towards the exact same thing where it's a rental. I'm thinking you're getting a sixth or a seventh.
A fifth rounder. Cam Robinson, I can't find. I have to look it up and take the time. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Cam Robinson's around 30 years old. So we're going to get
in the streets with Roman
for
candles if you get a fifth round pick for Braxton Jones, man.
Not even the point of the show. So whatever. We're going to try to trade Braxton Jones. We agree on that. I'm going to say, in watching this play, like I hadn't dissected the line before. If Ozzie Trapillo had his base for this kind of stunt and the blitz from the nickel, this is honestly textbook on how you this offensive line looks like a number one offensive line in the league. Like how this is handled, other than Ozzie right there, bending over at the hips and not having a wide base, which he can come along. And when Darnell's back, Darnell's doing, obviously he's one of the top right tackles in the league.
Now here, as the former offensive, or let's call it football lineman from yourself, Adam, I've been told by the experts on Twitter, I say that very tongue-in-cheek as well, I thought an offensive lineman is never supposed to get beat to the inside. And what is Jonah Jackson doing right there? So it looks like he's getting beat to the inside.
He took the wrong guy.
Or
so you got to trade off here. Joe Tooney.
Did
Drew Dahlman's got to help.
Can we start from the middle or from the beginning? I'm sorry. I just want to see who's over 52.
Play to defend. Just like you said, there's a stunt that comes around. There's a blitz that comes on the nickel. This is a hard one to defend, but they actually so to answer your question, sometimes on the offensive line, when all these things happen, you have a stunt and you have a blitz coming in. You basically just have to try to get your hips together and just block anything from coming in. You just got to stop it somehow because you can't always stop everything. But here's your stunt coming around on that side, and you can see what your question is. Jonah Jackson, he's worried about 33 blitzing in, so he's covering over there. Drew Dahlman technically needs to bleed off, but he can't disengage with his guy. So Joe Tooney has to come over, but they're doing their job of holding up just long enough. I mean, sometimes when all these stunts happen and the blitzes happen, you just got to hold off long enough and just stay close enough where you're blocking people, stopping people's legs, like doing whatever you got to do. Honestly, I have no problem with Jonah Jackson on this one. I have no problem with Joe Tooney. I have no problem with Drew Dahlman. Like, this is actually handled very well, in my opinion.
So I want to address Levante Rogers in the chat. He says that Cam Robinson is 29 and will be 30 in a week. That means that Cam Robinson, when he was traded to the Vikings, was 28. Braxton Jones is currently 26, turning 27 on March 27th. So is 2 years really... Is 2 years that much to say, oh, he's worth a fifth-round pick?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Karl, you're talking about early to mid-20s to late 30s. You're talking about a whole different gap.
A 2-year difference.
You've taken us back to not even the point of what we're trying to do here, Karl. Like, stay in your lane.
Sixth-round pick for Braxton, and you'll be
whether we get a fifth or a sixth or a fourth or a second or a seventh is not the point we're trying to accomplish here, Karl. Let's hope we get a fifth, and maybe we get a sixth, and maybe we don't get anything, and we just have to let him go in free agency at the end of the year. How about that?
Yeah, let him walk and let some schmuck pay him $25 million a year, and let's get the third-round compensatory. That's what I would prefer.
That would be freaking phenomenal. That would be amazing.
That's what I would prefer.
All right, so let's finish off this all 22 here. We got Ozzie a little out of position, but then Caleb steps up into the pocket. Point of this whole thing, Caleb's doing a lot better at that. Right overheads. He could have taken either of these guys right over the middle and just taken the easy dump off, but no, he zips it right in there to Rome Odunze, his favorite target. We've got ourselves a touchdown. Beautimus. There's real time.
Bears.
All right, so that's the first drive.
5 touchdowns in 4 games, Adam. Did you know that?
Yeah, one in every single game. There's only 2 players in the league that have a touchdown every single game so far, and Rome is one of them.
Trey Tucker was one. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong.
Not anymore. Not anymore. There's only 2, and the other one's a running back. Who is it? I got to remember. This is going to bug me if I don't.
Bill
I got
Krosky
this.
Merritt. I'm just joking.
No.
Thinking my fantasy
Nope.
team at that point.
They're both actually, I can just look at my fantasy. They're James Cook. They're both on my
Guy's
fantasy
okay.
team. Roma and James
Guy's
Cook.
okay.
That guy is all right. All right. So what do you think about the all-22 there, Carl? About our future, getting back to the future of the line. Obviously, Braxton's on his way out. So we've come to an agreement on that. Whether you call it benched, whether you call it... I have the cutest 4-year-old in the world, by the way, guys. She's never going to come on camera because I'm just not that guy that exposes his kids to... Can you say bear down? Bear down. She's trained well. Hey, Brooklyn, come here. Cubs are about to win. What do we do? Go, Cubs, go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Good job, girl. She's trained well. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but she was singing.
Yeah,
She sings the
I
whole
could
thing.
hear it. Got a little golf clap out of me. Very, very good.
She does phenomenal. All right, so we're almost to an hour here. Let's wrap this thing up with talking about the offensive line because that was the most important thing. In fact, can I bring up? Let's see. Remove this. Let's see. I could probably do
I'll
it
review our
from...
chat messages or texts because I thought there was something juicy in there, but I couldn't find
Hit
it
it.
earlier.
I love it. Hit it up.
Because we were going back and forth a little bit, and then you said, sounds like we have our topic, and I don't know if we talked about it. It was after the game, wasn't it?
This is from a different video I already did, but let's see. So here's your offensive line. All right. So this is how things are looking right now, right? With no disagreements, no...
Well, here's the thing that I wanted to ask you, okay? Because when I just talk about a philosophical standpoint, okay? You've got a 10th overall pick tackle, and you've got a 56th overall pick tackle on your football team. I think that they need to be on the football field at the exact same time. And let's say the Bears agree with me. Let's say that Darnell Wright and Ozzie Trapillo have to be on the football field at the same time. Are you having them both play tackle? Are you having one play guard? And if they're both playing tackle, Adam, who goes to left tackle? I think it's obvious. I have a very strong opinion on this, but I'd like to hear what your opinion is first.
There's no option but Theo Bennett being left tackle moving forward. From what I just showed on the All-22, from how he's progressed over the last year, there's no other option but Theo. Theo has to be the left tackle of this team. I'm not even going to come off of that.
Are you hitting the copium and you're saying that Theo Bennett is the 56th overall pick, or what are we doing?
I'm saying Theo, it doesn't matter where they were picked. It's how they're playing and how they progress. And Theo has shown that he's proven to be someone who, I mean, even Caleb was talking him up with his body transformation and his mental in the film room. Like he talked about Theo very highly. Like this guy is a unique guy that proved that this undrafted free agent was worth the time of coming in to this team and being a part of the team. Now, if you want to talk about Darnell Wright, Jonah Jackson, and Ozzie Trapillo, that right side, I think that's the real conversation that should be had. And Luke Newman in the preseason looked really good. I would say that left side should be the solid moving forward. And some of these other guys, Ozzie needs reps. He was the second-round pick, right? He needs reps. So while don't bring Darnell back too fast. If that arm, which it sounds like was a pretty significant elbow injury, whether it was hyperextended or sprained or what it was, I don't know all the details of that. If he's not ready next game, let Ozzie have some reps. And even if Darnell comes back, let's let someone rotate. I don't care how much we paid Jonah Jackson. He's not playing well so far this year. He's actually playing really poorly. Let's let Darnell have some reps at right guard while Ozzie's at right tackle. I don't know. I'm not trying to make things too crazy, but I think when you've got center, left guard, left tackle is what looks like it needs to be, and you just need more reps, I'd like to see some variations on the right side, and I'm not stuck on Darnell Wright having to be the fixture, but I think he's very good at run blocking, so he's best at the tackle position because he really opens up. I've explained on here, a lot of people didn't understand what zone and in gap for a running back means. Your right tackle, your left tackle are who you're reading. With Darnell Wright being one of the most elite run blocking guys on our line, he really fits well there. So if you have to bring Ozzie in at right guard, I don't love it. He's 6'8". You don't want that height. I don't have the answers, what I'm trying to say, but I'm just voicing a lot of different things.
I think that if you have found success at the left tackle position with Theo Benedict, I respect you saying that he needs to stay there. You made a comment about the little bro from Michigan State University. I've already forgotten his name, the guard, Luke Newman.
Luke,
He very quietly.
Forget that he's from Michigan State. Just enjoy the fact that
very quietly is my sleeper pick to replace Joe Thuney. Whether that's next year if something stupid happens, or by the time Joe Thuney's contract expires, whatever it is, right? I would love for that to be the succession plan. That would make me extremely happy. And I think you're right. Your problem with your offensive line right now in 2025 is your right guard, the pride of Ohio State, Jonah Jackson. If that has to be replaced by Darnell Wright, so be it. I just feel very strongly that Darnell Wright has had the success, not, iconic Pro Bowl, all-pro level, fringe maybe, Pro Bowl. Darnell Wright is, in my opinion, a proven right tackle, and I think he deserves a chance to develop at right tackle in a new scheme under a competent head coach. I would like to see Ozzie Trapillo on the football field. I don't think that 6'8" at right guard is good. I don't think that 6'8" at right guard is good. I would rather see Ozzie Trapillo at left tackle. I wish that he would have just been the left tackle from the word go, because that's what the plan was.
You can't
and all of a
put him
sudden
at left tackle
camp,
right now
stopped.
with that penciling, with him not having a wide base, with him bending at the hip, with his not conditioning. Like, I'm not trying to crap on the dude because I think there's a lot of potential with Ozzie. But those things that we just pointed out on tape, you can't put him on the left side right now. And that's why the Bears said he wasn't working at left tackle. We put him at right tackle. So
this is why Jade Walker made the football team, and this is why Theo Benedict is going to continue to be your left tackle. You're a new coaching staff. You need to say to these guys, if you play good enough, you're going to earn it. For them to just go and say, okay, Ozzie, you're the 56 overall pick. We're going to give you the left tackle position because of that. That would be asinine. Again, just philosophically, I would like to see the 56 overall pick on the football field 100% of the time. But if Theo Benedict's earning it, you cannot take it away from him.
a lot of really kind comments that this should be a 3-hour show. I'd watch it. You guys are being very kind to Karl and I. We just appreciate you guys tuning in. We just want to, thank you for giving an opportunity for me to voice some of the things on Twitter where people misunderstand them, where I say Theo and Ozzie, aren't playing elite level yet. This gives an opportunity for us to actually voice it, give the opinion of what we see on things, and say, this is what we're seeing. And there's some work to do, but there's a lot of positive to take from it. But they're young and they just need more reps. Like Theo should be starting left tackle, and he is. The Bears have made that determination. Ozzie needs reps somehow. I think Darnell shouldn't come back too soon. I think if you've got that, whatever it was, hyperextension, sprained elbow, those can be rough. Like, don't force it back. And I can't explain the penalties on him and Jonah Jackson. That whole side of the line has been responsible for, I don't remember what it was. We could probably count down there and look, but it was something like 60 or 70% of the penalties on the offensive line, like more than half. Like it was maybe even way more than that, like 75%. I don't remember what the stat was, but it was crazy. Jonah Jackson and Darnell Wright are responsible for most of the penalties on the right side of the line, which is insane. So
yeah, between Darnell Wright and Jonah Jackson, according to this graphic anyway, they've got 10 penalties, which saying that out loud it sounds bizarre. So
yeah.
Wow,
we didn't
Richard
even get
Colby.
to Austin Booker.
Richard Colby, what a gentleman, Richard Colby. I'd watch for 3 hours, even with Karl.
Even with Karl.
If you want to take your hate watching to the next level, Richard, then just spell my name with a C or something. I don't know what to tell you.
That's what I do. That's my thing. Don't let anybody else do that. Look at that, though. Love when Karl is on the show. Knock it off, Karl. Don't do the pity party thing. Karl's great. I love Karl. I got to keep this short. I got other things. Karl, if you're welcome to, if you want to come back, we can do this again. Like we can break down some more stuff and go over the roster. We didn't get to Austin Booker, which we wanted to do today. We didn't get to Colston Loveland coming back. There's some big things for the Bears with players coming back. Everyone's basically coming back, including Travis Homer, which I don't know how that's going to work right now. I don't have the answers, because when these guys come back, someone's got to get cut. Someone's got to go to the practice squad. Someone's can only bring 4 back. Booker is expected to come back week 5. So to answer that one, that's expected. There's no official announcement from the Bears yet, so they don't have to, but that's expected. And hopefully he is going to be back, because what we saw, what we showed right here, let's remove this right here. Austin Booker, this is preseason. He was the 2nd highest graded out of anybody in the preseason with a ridiculous, I don't know if I can express how much, when you look down those those. I know this is really small on your screen. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Well, we can make it bigger because he's at the top. So Austin Booker here. So here's how many pass rush snaps he took. How many right there? 30 pass rush snaps. 1 penalty on him. 9 total pressures. 5 sacks. 1 hit. 3 hurries. This is pressure rate, PRP. Oops. You can see he's one of the top one. For the amount of reps taken, he was actually the highest one. Let's go back to pass rush grade. But 25.9 is absolutely insane for a pressure grade. I don't even have the formula for how that is put together by PFF. Basically, how many times you get a pressure on how many reps you have. But if you look at how I calculate it, that's basically 1/3 of all reps that he was getting pass rush opportunities. He was getting a pressure on them. 5 sacks and 30 pass rush opportunities. That's 1 out of 6. That's 16% of plays. He got a sack. That's insane. Pass rush win rate. That's how many times he beat his opponent. 25%. Those are insane numbers. Like Austin Booker, if he can come back and just show a glimmer of that in the game, that's what we're missing. We have the lowest amount of sacks so far on the year. We need somebody to help us to be able to get some pressure and some sacks. And Austin Booker might be that key. So it'll be fun to see how it is when he gets in the game.
And it's not that Austin Booker is going to be playing 100% of the snaps and be expected to get a sack every game. He's going to join the rotation. And hopefully he will be the guy who's able to pick up the slack from, dare I say, the overpaid Deo Odengbo. I think that they need to figure out something different with Deo because my good friend Paul from Bearski Film threw together the highlights for Deo Odengbo. I saw a lot of pressures coming from the inside. So, in this little NASCAR package that I've always envisioned for the Bears, Deo should probably be on the inside and Austin Booker should be at the end position, in my humble opinion.
As Bears fans, we got to hope for lightning in the bottle with Austin. But we have to hope that Austin Booker can become close to what Max Crosby is because that would change the whole dynamic of this team. I mean, I'm not saying we should expect it, but you hope for that because Austin Booker, you've seen the comparisons to him. They're friends. They've worked out together in the offseason. You know, there's some things he's going to glean from him. But all right, Karl, we got
unless something goes bad, Dennis Allen's probably going to be here next year, next few years, right? I think that a guy with that motor does really fit exactly what Dennis Allen is looking for. Yeah. So it's up to him to get creative, find ways. Hell, just copy that exact play that we just took a look at a little bit earlier, right? Get your stunt on the inside, send a rusher, Kyler Gordon maybe, from the outside, attack either shoulder of the guard. I would love something like that. Get it done.
It's more complicated than that because you have to make sure the coverage is there, and we have a real weakness with Nahshon Wright. We didn't even get into a cornerback situation and who we can trade for. And
I'm glad we didn't get into it to trade for a corner. I mean, we got 2 guys who are not out for the season. They probably will be coming back. Wait, is Jalen Johnson done for the whole year? I can't even remember at this point.
Yeah, dude, he's gone. He's gone for the year. There's a potential if we make the playoffs that he can come back in time for the playoffs.
Interesting.
I'll be done. I don't know, man. Minute, okay, I'll be right there.
Obviously, Kyler Gordon is hopefully going to be coming back. You hope that hamstring is not ruining his season.
Terrell Smith is out, and so you're stuck with Nahshon Wright right now. You're stuck with, we're stuck with players that aren't living up to the caliber. So,
well, what are you going to do? Because the sad reality for a guy who really likes Josh Blackwell, I think McLeod has played fine. I think that's the player's name who's playing slot cornerback for us right now. He's been fine.
Nick McLeod.
I don't think he's worth getting rid of and finding a trade. I think you have to really look long and hard. Interesting. I think you got to look long and hard at Kyler Gordon playing.
I did a trade proposal, and it was for Greg Newsome. I saw a couple people mentioning that in the comments. You'd have to eat the salary cap. The Browns want to get rid of him because he's costing too much, but he's such a young, dynamic player. Mm-hmm. Played very well this year. Last year played poorly.
That Newsome guy had one of the most annoying games against the Bears as a Bears fan, because not only was he playing well, but he was like giving you that chirp as well. Maybe you want to punch him.
He was a first-round pick, man. He's got a ton of talent.
I love that player in the Bears. Greg Newsome was as well. I know Denzel Ward was the 4th overall pick.
Greg Newsome was first round, I think 28th overall. He's on a 5th-year contract right now. You only get that as a first rounder. So he's on a 5th-year contract, which gets him paid about $14 million. So the Browns want to unload that $14 million. So
he's from Northwestern. Sign me up. Send him over.
Yeah. So what happened to Zaf Frazier? It's not fully disclosed. He's on the NFI. He's taken the year off. There were rumors of him retiring. It sounds like a mental thing. I don't know the answer to that, but he's not playing this year. He's on the NFI for the entire year. So Zaf Frazier will not be back. for those asking that
Yeah,
question.
from an outsider perspective, and I hate to speculate on something like that, it kind of mirrors what Nate Davis probably went through as far as close loss of a very close loved one, or could be something more serious. I don't know. I don't know what's more serious than that, but
Karl, appreciate you coming on. We got to end this thing. Any last tidbits or words from you?
yeah, Caleb Williams, far and away the most talented quarterback that the Bears have ever had. Not the best. He's clearly not even top 10 Bears quarterback of all time.
We can
But
say
in my
highest
opinion,
potential.
Yeah, unquestioned. There's not even a shadow of a doubt there. Getting close to that Walter Payton level of talent as far as a player for the Bears in the general sense, but he's got a long way to go. But as far as my confidence level in him, could never be higher. And as this offense and Ben Johnson continues to grow around him, because I saw Ben Johnson adapt a little bit. I think he's realizing that he's not going to be able to coach him like Jared Goff. He's not going to say statue, point and throw. You got to be able to take advantage and use the tools that you've got. And I think that this is becoming a marriage that could work out. Will it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone earlier in the chat asked us record predictions after the first 4 weeks, right? I had predicted 7-10. I do think that with the Bengals quarterback situation, the Ravens being injured with Matabike going out, I think by the time the Bears play the Ravens, you will be getting Lamar Jackson. Will he be fully healthy? I don't know. That used to be, in my mind, 2 obvious losses. I think that converts now to 1 potential win. So my record prediction would be 8 wins at that point. Can you rattle off if you got a little bit of confidence at that point? We will see. I'm not ready to talk playoffs, though. That's my final statement for today. Not ready to talk playoffs.
You're digging into a whole nother topic now, Karl. Anyways, I love you, Karl.
Give the people what they're looking for. Give them more.
Well, then that means you need to come
week.
back on. From what everybody was saying, you got to come back on, Karl.
We'll see you next week.
All right, love you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in, guys.